Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new video. So today we are doing another fall inspired look. Today we are giving it to the pumpkin spice latte. I've actually done a few of these videos like inspired by like fall drinks and things like that, so I will try to create either a list or just leave links or cards throughout the video where you can look at previous looks that I've done in the past, and they're pretty bomb if I do say so myself. So if you enjoy this type of content, definitely subscribe and take a chance with my channel. It is free to subscribe and it's the best way to support my channel. I have tons of fall inspired looks coming up, so if you are a fall eye look girl, definitely subscribe because you will not regret it. So with that said, and if you guys want to see how I created this pumpkin spice latte inspired look, that is a lot to say. Stick around and let's get right into it. We're going to start off with the skin today because, just being completely honest, transparent, I feel so insecure about my skin right now and I hate it because the reality of life is skin is never perfect, and I know not everybody has perfect skin, but just being in the beauty industry, like, it makes you be 10 times harder on yourself, keeping it 100. So I don't know what's going on with my skin, you guys. Like, it has its times where it's like doing so good, and then it has its times like right now that it's just like it breaks out for no reason, and then it leaves me a bunch of scars. Yeah, if you guys can see, like, I have all these like little manchas on my skin, and it's not really that I pick at them, but from them just fading away, they just leave an acne mark behind, and it's because I have more melanin on my skin, so it tends to just, it leaves it like this, and it makes me so insecure, and I hate it because it's skin. It's really not that big of a deal, but apparently to me it is. I'm at a point where I really want to go to a dermatologist because, again, there's times where my skin just does amazing and it's thriving and glowing, and then I go through seasons where my skin is just breaking out, but it's a weird type of breakout. It's not like your typical pimple. They're like these small little, almost like white tiny little bumps that I just go like this and they just pop. They're kind of satisfying, honestly, which is probably not a good thing, but I need to do something about it because it drives me crazy. For foundation today, I'm going to use one that I haven't used on camera yet, but this is the She Glam foundation in the shade Golden. It's the Skinfluencer Full Coverage Foundation Balm in the shade Golden. I think I already said that. It is such a beautiful foundation. It is so full coverage. Look at that. Yeah, crazy full coverage. The only thing is that this definitely makes me oily throughout the day. Like, this is not very oily skin friendly, but for the days that I really want to have like full coverage with a skin-like finish, this has been my go-to, and a little goes a long way. So how is your September going so far? Do you guys have any plans? Any weddings? Any quinceañeras? Anything like that? I wish I had parties to go to, but I have no friends. So I have nowhere to go besides my house. Actually, I lied. October is Lincoln's birthday. He's turning 2. And we had originally planned to go to a, what's it called, like a resort here in Texas. It's called Kalahari Resort. And they do like party of it, or party, ¿cómo se llaman? Party packs and things like that, but it was going to be too expensive, and it was going to be like a huge group of us, like 20 of us. These are like my husband's co-workers that have now become like friends, and I have made a few friends, 2 friends from there, and we were planning on doing that, but it was just such a big expense because it was so many of us. So I think we're just going to end up doing like a party because me, Jen, and Edith, all of us have kids that have a birthday in either late September or in the month of October. So we're thinking of just combining it and just doing one huge party, which honestly I am so excited because since we really have no one here to celebrate birthdays with now, it gets a little lonely. For Lincoln's first birthday, it was just me, Lonnie, my husband, my sister, and then, you know, her kids and her husband. So it was still nice just being able to celebrate another year or a year of his life. but I'm so used to always having like all my tios and my tias and having like these pretty big parties. Ever since we've been back from Utah, I know I've said this before, but it definitely feels a little bit lonely. Like I miss having my tios, especially when my youngest sister, will send me Snapchats of her hanging out with them. They'll have parties every now and then, and not like big parties, but just like little get-togethers, and they'll be dancing and having a good time. I'm like, oh my gosh, I miss that so much. Like I took that for granted. Like there was times that I just didn't want to go because I was being too lazy, and now I'm like, man, I wish I would have never taken those fun times for granted, because now like we're just here alone. So for my conditioner, what the heck, for my foundation, no, for my concealer, I'm gonna use the Sephora Best Skin Ever. Oh my gosh, this concealer is seriously full coverage, and it's so nice. It's like lightweight, it's breathable, but it still just covers all the darkness. If you have any like pimples, or if you have something that you want to correct, but you want to go in not with a foundation, but maybe like a tinted moisturizer, this one has been my go-to. And although I've mentioned this already, I'm going to mention it again. The Sephora Pro Concealer 71 is seriously the best, and I'm getting a phone call. Spam risk. I'm interested in knowing if any of you have ever moved away from like close friends or family, and how and what you did to deal with it, to like cope with it. Because even though I never grew up, or I didn't grow up having like a close-knit family, just because like everybody was kind of like everywhere, and I grew up in New Mexico. That's where I was raised and born half of my life, and then that's when I moved to Utah. But then just being with my uncles, you know, like they're so much fun. Like we all have those crazy tios that when they get drunk, they just dance, and they're like the life of the party. That's literally all of my tios. They're so much fun. I just miss being around them so much. But yeah, let me know, you guys, what you did or how you're coping with it, because it definitely gets to me at times, you know. Let's go in with something affordable again. So I'm taking a little bit of a putty bronzer, of course, from e.l.f. I find myself like really neglecting my e.l.f. bronzers, and it's because of this. They're so tiny. e.l.f., please come out with either a bigger version of this or like a stick formula. I feel like a lot of people agree with me, right? Maybe not. I appreciate that it comes in a smaller container, because realistically I'm not going to use all the cream bronzers that I have in my drawer. So I feel like you might go through one of these a little bit quicker than like a bigger one, but it also makes it a little bit hard to get in there. Also, you guys, I wanted to remind you, if you have not followed me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram. I've been doing pretty good and staying very consistent with posting reels. Like I had mentioned in one of my last tutorials, or one of my last videos, that I'm really trying to move over to Instagram. Not completely, of course. I'm not going to leave you guys just hanging, but I definitely want to create more content on Instagram, because it seems like, you know, a lot of people are creating more reels, and just the world we're living in. A lot of people don't want to see a 15-minute video, which I get. I still enjoy 15-minute videos of my favorite influencers. Let me know if you guys still enjoy long videos, which is another reason why I try to cut my videos down so short, is because I feel like a lot of people don't watch them, and I know some of you may do. The reality is that when it comes to like analytics and everything like that, when it comes to like the breakdown of YouTube, not a lot of people watch my videos for that long. So it's like, well, it's kind of hard to balance, you know, like wanting to create something and then having to please your audience as well. Let's go ahead and set the skin. Today I will be using, what are we using? Believe Beauty from Dollar General. You know what? Now that I think about it, the entire time that I've been here in Texas, I have not seen a Dollar General. If you guys live in Texas, in like the Houston area, let me know if there's Dollar Generals here, because I honestly haven't seen one. Maybe I haven't looked for them, but I have not seen one. And then just to give my under eyes a little bit more of a brightening effect, I'm going to take the palette from Evettexo and Beauty Creations, and I'm going to go in with Always Matte. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Sunkissed from that same palette. Honestly, this is another palette that I also tend to neglect, because it just sits there in the drawer and I forget that I have it. I kind of want to leave the forehead looking a little shiny. I'm going to take a mix of the shade Java and Terra from Benefit Cosmetics. And I'm just going to apply it just right here. I'm going to use again the Evettexo palette, and I'm just going to use both of those really pretty highlighting shades. They're super, super blinding. Look. We're going to jump right into the eyes. I've already prepped them with the Eye Prep Eye Prime from JUAvias Place. This has been my go-to. I love it. I just wish I would have gotten a lighter shade. For my palettes, I wanted to use the new Pumpkin Spice Second Slice palette from Too Faced, but I think I'm going to save this for another time because it's not really the color theme story that I'm going for. So I'm going to be using a palette that I have come to the conclusion that these have to be my favorite all-time palettes, and those are the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palettes, the Volume 1 and the Volume 2. These are just, you guys, top of the line, like best of the best. I really like them. Like the color story and everything just makes so much sense. We're gonna jump right into it. I definitely want to create a pumpkin spice latte inspired makeup. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with the deepest, warmest shade, and I'm gonna take this one right here. I don't know the names, so if you guys know them, you can let me know or just follow along. And since that's going to be my deepest color, I'm gonna start it off right here. Pretty much like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this eye. And just like magic. And just like that, our eye is blended. Now I'm going to take the burnt orange, which is right at the top. I'm going to use that to help me blend out the color. So as you can see right here, we have not patchiness, but just where the color is kind of like almost like bleeding through. So that is exactly where I want to lay this burnt orange. So I'm actually going to change my mind. I want something a little more orange. So I'm going to use a little bit of Crust Issues, which is a really nice soft pumpkin-y color. And I'm going to take that on a fluffier brush, something like this, because I don't want to have to go in with a third color. Let's go in and cut the crease, and then we're going to go in with our lid color. So I'm actually going to jump back into this palette, so I guess we are going to be using it today. And I'm going to take Everything Nice, which is a matte, it's like a peachy toned. Loving the eyes, but I definitely want to add a little sparkle to the eyes. So I'm going to take the Heavy Metal Liquid Glitter by Urban Decay. This is seriously the only one that I own from Urban Decay, and it's my favorite. Let's go in with a little bit of eyeliner. Of course, we're going to do yellow. You can do orange, but I feel like yellow will just make a better contrast since I already have a lot of orange going on the eyes. This is the Marigold's Raw Beauty Christy X ColourPop. I don't know if this specific shade is still available, but I am pretty sure ColourPop has similar shades like this one if they don't have this specific one. Oh, you're kidding me. For my lashes today, I'm going to use 1990 from OMG Lashes. I don't have the Shop OMG Lashes website up anymore, but if you're still wanting to get my lashes, you can still get them from the Lash Kitty website. I will have it linked down below. For the lips, I'm just going to finish it off. I want to go for something a little bit like darker than what I normally go. So I'm going to use CTRL from ColourPop to just line the lips. I'm going to try out this lipstick to see how it looks. This is Desire from Milani. Oh, that's really pretty. Ooh. I went ahead and set the skin, and that is the end of today's look, you guys. Thank you so much for following this tutorial. If you did, I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a little out there, like the lips and the eyes are bold, definitely tone it down without the glitter, and I think it'll make it a little less intimidated if you're not big on doing like bright lips and colorful eyes. But you are ready to go to the pumpkin patch, you're ready to go carve pumpkins, you're ready to go on a fall date with your friends or your husband or loved one, whoever it is. I love you, and until next time, I will see you guys in my next video.